continue with the a panel as we had a bit of a delay. So I'm inviting the panelists to come on stage, and we're going to be talking about real-world assets and DePin in the digital age. We have a couple of speakers here: Marius Grigoras from BHero, Andrei Panzaru from Deloitte, Raluca Negrea from Build21, Cornel from Yoosend, and FreeFly.eth from Good Morning Honey.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. It's my pleasure to moderate this panel about real-world assets and DePin. My name is Marius Grigoras from BHero Launchpad. And today it's my pleasure to introduce you to some great friends from different areas, but mostly legal, blockchain, Web2 and Web3 infrastructure. I will start with each of you, 1 minute each to present yourself, your area of expertise, and your impact maybe on this kind of topics, real-world assets and DePin.
Hi guys, hello, happy to be here. My name is Cornel Fratica. I have a background in banking industry for more than 20 years, financial industry. I joined crypto space since 2017, working on different projects. Now I'm at Yoosend. Yoosend is a cloud, decentralized cloud that we're using on this DePin narrative that we're going to touch later on, but not to stay too much on this. Happy to be here and discuss this on this panel.
Hi everyone, my name is Raluca Negrea. I am one of the co-founders of Build21. Build21 is a real estate company. My background is in marketing for technology, but as an entrepreneur I've been wearing many hats, from product development to managing teams to listing the company on the stock exchange and managing the relation with investors.
Hello everybody. Very nice to be here. Thank you for the invitation. My name is Andrei Panzaru. I'm a lawyer. I'm also a partner in Deloitte, and for the last 25 plus years I've been dealing with banks, financial institutions, capital markets, and as I mentioned on other occasions, when I discovered, I think it was 2018-19, the blockchain/crypto space, I kind of felt that it is something that may include the future of finance. So that's why I'm here actually.
Thank you, Andrei. If you can give the mic to Lucia, thank you.
Thank you. GM everyone, my name is FreeFly, or Luci in Web2. I have joined the crypto and Web3 space in 2017. I have a background of more than 15 years in automotive industry, and besides that I'm a beekeeper, and my goal is to bring my bees into the metaverse. So I just founded a startup, it's called GM Honey, and we are tokenizing honey and beehives. Thank you.
Thank you guys, appreciate it. Now let's discuss a bit what real-world assets means, maybe some comparison with DePin, your impact in your project, and how do you think these kind of narratives are changing the world we are living right now. For sure you guys heard about real-world assets and DePin, decentralized physical infrastructure. Why we are using blockchain and decentralized infrastructure in order to have maybe most effectiveness and cost-wise in this kind of infrastructure. Cornel, I will start with you. We know very well Yoosend right now. It's a decentralized protocol for cloud storage. If you can give us some points why you started Yoosend as a cloud infrastructure being decentralized using blockchain infrastructure. Why do you believe it is more important to have a DePin design from the beginning comparing with Web2 design?
Yeah, thanks Marius for the questions. So at Yoosend we believe in decentralization since we have our background, our history is in cloud and file storage with the previous app and business that we've made. And we face difficulties based on data centers the traditional way where we have this single point of failures. We have a lot of vulnerabilities in terms of security, a lot of breaches. So we try to solve this with blockchain technology, but also with this DePin narrative which allows us to, actually we are building our own servers. It's home use servers, it's 20 by 20, very powerful and fast, and it's something that you can rely on. So this gives us the full security that we need, full transparency, and it's something that also implies and also allows users and communities to take advantage of this technology and and to be part of the entire ecosystem, because we are building an ecosystem with the infrastructure on top of it, with the software that we're building, the cloud with the unique features, and on top of it a mobile app that really is the remote control for the users on the entire ecosystem. So I think this is the true benefit of this decentralized infrastructure that also empowers people to participate in the network, but also giving the full security, privacy, also cost efficient, because using a decentralized network, it's most cost efficient, so optimize transparency as well. So these are very powerful.
Thank you so much. Raluca, if you can tell us some from your experience building Build21, why do you think real-world assets narratives are more important than Web2 classic infrastructure? And how is impacting both the design way and the customers and of course the holders of your assets?
I think in the blockchain in the last 5 years have been a lot of trends, but the real world asset trend is the only one that is actually answer to a fundamental question: why blockchain for average people?
Right.
Because if you don't have a solution for average people, you're not going to have an adoption of the technology and then use a better use of this technology. And I think real world assets is really answering to this question. Of course, we can discuss of a lot of physical things that can be tokenized, inclusive real estate, but on real estate it's a bigger and debate on what it's possible to be tokenized and fractionalized and so on. But we have some examples of people trying to transform an apartment in an NFT and sell it as an NFT. If we are talking about real estate, but I think what is important and doable right now in the real estate world, it's tokenizing the access to entering the development of real estate, tokenizing the right to invest, which is something that it's more doable right now and will open doors for a lot of average people to this.
Give the power to smaller investors.
Yeah, to tomorrow's investors who have different motivations to build stuff than the one that are monopolizing right now the market.
Yeah, sounds good. Andrei, first of all, thank you for being here. I know your expertise and you are very, very busy. From your experience, how do you see your customers and maybe the companies trying to use your services and your expertise regarding legal? Do you see the things are happening or starting to happen regarding real-world assets and DePin from a legal side as well? From building stuff, being an engineer, I see a lot of push-ups and a lot of trends. For sure, a lot of engineers are starting to build on blockchain using these two narratives. I'm more interested to see how in Europe is starting to be from a legal side, and if you see a real future, at least for the real-world assets, to be compliant.
Okay, a lot of questions and a lot of potential answers. First of all, I mean, we keep talking about RWA, real-world assets. I think we should be talking about tokenization of real-world assets. Yeah. Because real-world assets, they are out there in the world. Where blockchain comes into place is when you try to tokenize them. Another, maybe a fun fact, because again, I'm coming, my banking law experience is from what you guys call TradFi, traditional finance. Funny thing is RWA in TradFi means risk-weighted assets. And it's a concept that's very familiar to bankers. Now, coming a bit back to what you asked, in terms of clients, yeah, I would say we are making progress in the sense that, okay, even today, you still find people in the traditional banking system which are not skeptical, but hyper-skeptical when it comes to especially crypto. I mean, they usually make this distinction, blockchain maybe it's okay, but crypto is not okay, and so on. But the more, actually, the RWA narrative is the one that, in my view, has the greatest potential maybe to bridge the two worlds. Yeah?
Right.
Because one of the claims against crypto is that we have assets that are backed by nothing, right? Well, real-world assets tokens are actually meant to be either backed by something or to give an entitlement, a right, a claim versus a real asset. Yeah?
Right.
So that part is actually, I would say, more palatable in terms of discussing with traditional clients and so on. Another maybe relevant point is, to me, it's also interesting how worlds converge. Yeah. Because one of the applications of real-world assets, and the most discussed now, by the way, nowadays, some of you guys may know, but these days, at the same time with this event, we have the Global Innovation Summit of the Basel Committee. Basel being, for those who don't know, the Bank of International Settlements in Basel is the central bank of central banks, is the mother of all central banks, okay? And the key topics, the two key topics discussed in Basel these days are AI and tokenization. Okay, they may look there in different terms at tokenization, yeah? The narrative is usually about DLT, decentralized ledger technology. Blockchain is a type of DLT,
right.
Yeah? There's also discussion about a unified ledger, at European system, controlled, and so on. But my point is there's a lot of, I mean, one thing can be said for sure, or I don't have a problem to say it, is that the legacy banking system is starting, and it's been doing now for a while in experimental phase, to import concepts and models and technology from DeFi, okay? Trying to avoid what they qualify as being, issues with DeFi and so on, but still importing them. And just to close the point on real-world asset tokenization, if you speak, for example, about a token that represents a financial interest in something, yeah, like for example in future cash flows, yeah, that resembles a lot with an old concept called securitization, which securitization was initially viewed as something super interesting. Then it was blamed for causing the previous financial crisis. And nowadays, it's actually brought again on the table. Why? Because you need to find alternative financial structures to de-risk the banks and also to diversify the sources of investment and so on. And these are common elements actually with tokenization of real-world assets as they are discussed in DeFi.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Lucian, how do you see, DePin trend in automotive? You have a lot of experience in automotive, working for Conti for so many years. Do you see any specific technical trend into the automotive, working with blockchain or making, any kind of research?
Yes, the automotive companies already invested in spending research and time in blockchain. Mm-hmm. Also, the company that I'm working is working on its own blockchain together with a partner. And for sure, in the future, DePin will be used also in automotive, because we have cars and it's easily to decentralize everything, and with the autonomous driving, and every car will gather some data and mm-hmm. can share it on a network, and ideally it will be a blockchain to be decentralized, to be transparent and safe. Yeah,
makes sense. I say that many times that, in my opinion, the adoption in Web3 will come from two ways. So this kind of tokenization and payment solutions, and secondly from IoT, industrial IoT and automotive. A lot of devices are coupled all together, and using blockchain technologies for traceability for sure will be happening. I used to make research also in NXP, where I used to work for. And yeah, this is for sure happening as a new narrative. So you are saying that Conti as well is trying to build a private blockchain and not using a public one.
Yes, as far as I know, they are working together with someone, but I don't know now the name. It's public. There's some news around it, and they are working. In Romania, we don't have activities blockchain related on Conti side, but in the headquarters in Germany, I have colleagues there working on this.
Thank you so much.
That also in real estate, it's doable to collect data because you can collect data about the structures that you are building, on which you are building, you know. You can collect data to see how these structures are evolving over time. Once the stuff are happening around them, I don't know, big machine passing by or the earth which is moving each second. So you can collect data in each moment, real time, about how the structure of this building it's moving right now, and if it's keeping the quality that was designed for, and so on.
Super. Yeah, makes sense. We have only 3 minutes left, but I'll try to put 2 more questions. The next one I think is very, very important, user onboarding. How do you guys see this problem of user onboarding? It's always this chicken egg problem. We like the technology, but it's pretty hard to be compliant, to make new tools, to make new protocols, to make user-friendly applications in order to be very easily understood by these guys. I'll start with Andrei, very, very shortly, please. How do you see from your customer experience the compliance part regarding the user onboarding? You for sure working with different parties and third parties. They are open to this kind of technology. They see a potential of I don't know, adoption also from this legal side on the short term.
I mean, depends what you refer by user onboarding, because initially I thought about customer onboarding.
Yeah, accountants, lawyers, I don't know.
Look, for accountants and lawyers, currently blockchain is an interesting and challenging topic to advise on, yeah, and quite often risky or complicated or difficult to advise on, yeah. I don't see for now necessarily accountants or lawyers looking to use blockchain per se. Even so, when you say about accountants, you know, blockchain is a ledger. Accountants work with ledgers, so maybe there should be something in there. But not that I'm aware of right now. The other angle that I would add here in terms of onboarding users, yeah, like customers, let's say, for mostly retail, yeah. I would say it really depends what you onboard them for, yeah, in terms of compliance. Because everybody speaks about KYC and AML and so on. Right. But you know, my advice, you know, if you're running a business, let's say blockchain-based, before jumping into AML and KYC, make sure you make a bit of an assessment and see what from AML law applies to you. Are you a reporting entity? Are you not? Because you know the compliance requirements that apply may be different. If you are a reporting entity, you'd have more stringent and direct legal obligations. If you're not a reporting entity for ML purposes, then not really. So,
Raluca, from your experience, which are the most important showstoppers to onboard new customers in an application like Build21? The Web3 part, the KYC part, the compliance part, technical issues, I don't know, ownership of the wallet.
There at the moment are way too many steps they have to do if they don't have a technical background. So it's about creating a user journey that it's very smooth. Yeah. I think this is the most important, to have clear user profiles and to create for each of them a path that can follow easily, and also make a lot of documentation for each of these. But also I think it's important for us, the project creators, because somehow all of us, we are building communities. Also to join communities by communities and help them understand what we are building, each of us, even though the projects are very different, you know? Because it will help people, the average people, if they see concrete and simple examples. I don't know, it was an example this morning with wine bottles. Tokenization of a wine bottle is something that you can easily understand, and once you can buy a token that it's a wine bottle and go drink your wine, it will be easier for you to use that wallet, I don't know, to buy something more sophisticated or more complex. So joining communities, and when we have affinities in terms of user profiles, this is something that we can do together to increase the onboarding of users.
Nice. same question for Cornel. How do you see this problem of onboarding users? It's a problem of legal stuff, I don't know, building chips and applications to be in sync with the data from blockchain, or do you have other issues, other showstoppers?
Many stoppers along the way, as the previous colleagues mentioned, but we have to admit that we are in the early stages. We are the pioneers building this blockchain technology and all these tools for our users. Yes, it's about the adoption, it's about the number of users who actually are using the tools that we are building. And our vision is that the users will have to use these tools without knowing that blockchain is behind. It's like an integration between Web2 and Web3, and actually I think these are the powerful tools that will integrate these technologies, the traditional ones, with the blockchain, with the new ones. So yeah, the journey has to be very simple for the users, and not knowing that behind it's a very complex technology and tools that we built. This is what actually we are trying to do, and hopefully we are solving this issue on our users in the app of Yoosend app, where users are just using the app as the Web2, as a mobile app, simple, making all the transactions and everything inside without knowing all the hassle and the operations we are doing behind. So yeah, it's about attracting users, using it, and make it simple as we can do. Besides legislation and what was mentioning before, that it will come at the right time. We are doing all the necessary steps in this direction, also with MiCA now coming, also with all the legal enforcement and everything. It will happen in the next few years. I think that will be regulated and easy to embark on board new users.
Okay, the last question, because timing is pressing us. Are DePin and RWA projects bringing significant new users on chains from your perspective? Do you see this kind of narratives and technologies possible triggers for adoptions in Web3 or not? How much responsibility should these projects of these two narratives have in educating their users?
Start since my mic is here.
Sure.
Briefly, yeah, it's our responsibility being the pioneers, building the right tools and as ethical as we can do, full transparency and security as well. It's part of the core narratives of blockchain as well. So I am a true believer that this is the future of using blockchain technology and mass adoption and creating users.
So
and
do you think it's one of the most important bridges right now?
It's the most important, and it has the ability to attract new users, the Web2 users, to this Web3 technology, because we have to admit that we really want to see, like real world assets, like something to, like our server, something to be physical, to feel it, in order to understand it easily, at least at the first step. And then once you have these physical products, people understand, you start using it, and then we'll create adoption. It's like mass adoption as well. So yeah, we need this DePin and RWA products in order to attract new users and to create more transactions, more usage on the chains.
Okay, thank you. Raluca?
Yeah, I'm very sure that this kind of project will onboard a lot of new users. And for sure, we have to take care of them once we are bringing them in a new world. And again, I think it's because real-world assets are really answering to the questions why. Why use blockchain? It's more, it has a concrete use case.
Yeah, so far it's like building a new tech, but without any problem. And we are struggling to find problems to fit with the blockchain. But right now we can really fix some real problems from Web2 using this kind of technologies. Good. Andrei.
Somehow along the same line, I actually believe there are going to be, and it is happening, two big drivers in terms of the blockchain space. One is the CBDCs, with the one remark that not all CBDCs might necessarily be on blockchain.
Very, very shortly, do you believe in CBDCs? Or
it's not a matter of faith. It is happening. It's happening. Over 90% of the central banks are working on CBDC projects, so I have zero doubts that it is going to happen. And by the way, one of the reasons it's happening is because the central banks saw the interest of the people into crypto. It's been mentioned again in this conference at Basel. Very interesting, yeah? So I heard it from the mouth of a central banker, yeah? It's one of the reasons. It's not the most important reason. And the second driver, it's the tokenization of financial instruments. Again, this is also happening. It's been experimented on since a few years ago. We've seen tokenized bonds, tokenized shares, okay? Tokenizations of various types of financial interests, okay? And yes, I do believe tokenization of financial instruments is going to be the biggest driver that is going to push this space forward. And together with that will come tokenization of multiple other rights.
Do you believe that traditional brokers will move to blockchain as an architecture, or new brokers will appear on the way?
Both. We'll see both. I keep repeating about this DLT pilot regime, this European regulation. For now, with not a lot of results, but at European level, they're trying to stimulate, the regulators, I mean, are trying to stimulate the creation of financial market infrastructure on DLT, i.e. including blockchain, okay? Once that is in place, yeah, assuming that works well, we will see probably all, if not the majority of the traditional finance operating financial market infrastructures moving on that. But we'll also see new players, yeah? We'll see both worlds.
I see. Lucia, we are closing with you. The same questions regarding user onboarding and challenges. How do you see Conti or other companies from automotive world having impact on this aspect? And yeah, if you see, I don't know, new companies from this segment of embedded and automotive trying to onboard more companies, or maybe, I don't know, secondary third-party players in this kind of ecosystems?
Yeah, so I don't know for sure how Conti thought about onboarding people into Web3. I don't know if it's on their roadmap for now.
Indirectly.
Yeah, in general, for sure, real-wide assets are a real driver for onboarding people, because they start for a real thing, and then they will follow it on blockchain.
Okay. That's it, guys. Thank you for having us.